Emergency purple rain podcast. John Harbaugh is out as Ravens coach. So much to talk about on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. It's an emergency. We are here on a Tuesday night. Episode 367 of the Purple Rain podcast. The Ben Bredesen, Lawrence Guy, Corey Bullock episode of the Purple Rain podcast. And yeah, we have lots to talk about. Don't want to mince words. You know where you can follow us. Discover here, Instagram, or on X at Sutton Def. Me, Instagram, simply as10.prod, X simply as10. Follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast. Kind of want to just get through that. Yes, it is true. It is damn true. John Harbaugh is out as Ravens head coach. 18 years. I'll tell you this. I was driving home and I was chilling and I just felt my phone vibrate a lot. I'm like, what's going on? And I check it at a red light, of course, at a red light. And I saw the news and I'm like, oh my gosh. Because there really was no, I know Albert Breer reported that it was, a toss up, but there was no way that it was leaning towards him going. I was fully expecting him to stay. You were too. We talked about it last night, just 24 hours ago, but it happened. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Harbaugh is out. It doesn't seem like it was a mutual parting of ways because of what Steve Bisciotti said. And like you said, man, 18 years is a long time, one of the longest tenured head coaches in NFL history, right? And it finally comes to an end. Man, and I'll tell you this, Alex, when I first got the news as well, I was on the road, just like you. And I pulled up to a stoplight, and that Adam Schefter ESPN notification came through to my phone, and it said John Harbaugh is out as Ravens head coach. Before that notification could even automatically swipe itself away, I get a text from you saying Harbs is out. Harbs is gone. And I was like, oh, it's real. It's real. And like, I was listening to something. I think I was listening to like Rich Eisen or somebody like that. And I was like, Rich, shut the fuck up. Mute up for a second. Okay. Like I turned everything off and I sat in silence for a few minutes. And again, my knee-jerk reaction was a sigh of relief, but it was a little bit bittersweet. I mean, I've been a fan of this team for a long time. I'm in my 30s now. John Harbaugh actually has been the head coach of this team since I was 12 years old, right? So a part of me, like the kid in me who grew up watching John Harbaugh, we had some great moments and we had some bad moments. We had our ups and downs, but it was just like, again, like that relationship you've been in for a long time. Yeah. There's been ups and downs, and you kind of have hope. You hold out hope that maybe one day things can turn around, and that's why you don't rip the Band-Aid off, but it's probably better if you do. That's how I felt in this one. For a second, I was bittersweet, like, damn, so long, farewell, old friend, John Harbaugh. But good riddance. Like I told Coach on the stream that I just got off of, I'm firing up the grill. We're throwing something on the grill, right? This is the most important time in Ravens history, arguably the most important time. You're getting ready to go into the second half of the career of Lamar Jackson, who was one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. You are desperate. And when I say desperate, I mean desperate to find a head coaching candidate who can, dare I say, like Bucky Brooks, graduate Lamar to the next level, get him over the hump, and get him a Super Bowl. I'm ecstatic about it. Like you mentioned, John Harbaugh, he is going to be well taken care of. He's going to be getting paid very, very well to sit at home with his family, so from that regards, like, of course, we don't ever root for anybody to get fired, but I think it's more so we don't root for anybody to lose their livelihood more so
Correct.
Than get fired. You know what I mean? Like John Harbaugh will not lose his livelihood, his lifestyle, anything like that by getting fired. In fact, he's going to get paid very well for, a permanent vacation from the Ravens. So I'm happy about it. I cannot wait to start doing a deep dive on who the Ravens can potentially pursue next at head coach. Man, we got a lot to talk about on this channel here, not just today, but in the upcoming days as well. I only think it's going to be about a week until we know who the new head coach of the Baltimore Ravens is. So make sure you like this video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Hit that little sub button down below and hit notifications. Make sure you turn on notifications because we will be live dropping videos throughout the entire week, throughout the entire offseason. You guys know how we do. We cover this team 365 days a year. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, I know that we're live right now. And if you want to join the live chat, you just got to hit subscribe. It's a
It's free.
subscribers only chat. It's free, right? You know, so if y'all could go ahead and do that for us, that'd be great. But this is some news right here, man. Alex, take it away. How are you feeling, man? Let's just talk through it.
I think, who was it? Chris said I look happy, and you know what? I am happy. I am very happy because change was needed. We've been saying this, and kind of just go back to what you said about the bittersweet. Yeah, I think 8 years old when we hired him, so that's kind of all I really know of football. Obviously, my first memories I think was like the Billick era with us with Kyle Bowler. I remember drafting Troy Smith, but majority of my football fandom has been with John Harbaugh at head coach, and it was good the first couple of years. Those Joe Flacco years, it was good, and then it got bad, and then Lamar came, then it got good again, and then it's bad, and I'm kind of just, I was over it. Um, and we needed to go a new direction. And I thought, if he doesn't go, we might lose our superstar quarterback. And to me, are you going to pick one coach or 53 players? And I want to give a tip my cap to Steve
Mm.
Bisciotti for doing that because Harbaugh wanted to stay. He outlined what he wanted to do. He wanted to make minor tweaks, not changes. They said tweaks is, the word they used. But also, I have to know at the same time that Bashad is looking at the pockets, and if you do keep Harbaugh and you have another bad season, you lose a lot of money. So, kind of two reasons why he was fired. Probably mainly because of the whole money issue. Thank you, A Pro, for subscribing. Good to have you here. But I'm over the moon. I really am. Change is needed. To me, the happiness I'm feeling now, and it could just be me. Kevin, thank you for that sub. The happiness now I'm feeling trumps that pain I was feeling with Tyler Loop missing the field goal because that lasted for 24
Yes.
hours. This right here, this has me excited for the offseason and coach making it rain with the Tempe saying, "We free." And that
Yes.
is truly why I think I'm so happy because obviously we can hire the wrong person, but I'm not focused on that. Anybody in the right mind want to come here and see what we have and see, the trajectory of where we are if you're a smart, competent head coach, sky's the limit. So I kind of got some heat for saying, who wouldn't want to play here? Saying, like, kind of do we need John Harbaugh? No, coaches want to be here. I'll say this. I said I will buy a Tyler Loop jersey. He saved me from John Harbaugh. Like, thank you,
Mm.
thank you, thank you very much, sir. I'm just gonna be happy now. Like, it's just an exciting offseason again. Just save me.
Yeah. It is. I mean, and you hit the nail on the head right there. This trumps the feeling. I'm totally over Sunday now. Because now at least I know going in through throughout this whole offseason and going into next season. Appreciate that, Juan. The sub, appreciate you, 86 Ghosts for the membership. We're gonna keep rolling through these super chats as well. I mean, y'all going crazy tonight. Over 150 people watching live. Like the video, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to you guys. This is the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. But oh my gosh, Alex, I'm so excited. What was I just saying? I don't even remember. Golly, man.
You were upset Sunday, but that trumps it because like firing Harbaugh and kind of like what
Yeah.
the future holds.
Yeah, man. Like Coach says here, man, we are free. And I know that, oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. Going into next season, there's going to be a totally different energy, regardless, really, of who they hire. We might like who they hire next. We might love who they hire next. But I think it's going to be a better energy. It's going to be a more excited, postured Ravens fan base going into next season, knowing that this is a new, fresh era, right? There's no more who's got it better than us, nobody. There's a
Get that shit
totally
out
new
of here.
message. Thank
Get
you.
that shit out of here.
Thank you. We get a new message that is not going to fall on deaf ears, right? And we'll talk about in a little bit, what type of coach we would want the Ravens to pick up here in the scenario. But yeah, coach, you're absolutely right. We are free. Appreciate the super chat donation. We do have another one. This one's coming from Quincy. Appreciate you, Quincy, making it rain
What
here in
up?
the chat, dropping the 10p. Says, hey, fellas, I'm so happy that the team is taking winning a Super Bowl seriously. I guess you could say
Yeah,
hashtag rain gang.
yeah.
Yeah, Steve Bisciotti, I guess he wasn't lying. I guess he
No.
wasn't lying over the offseason. I thought he was. But he said he wants to win now. John Harbaugh went into the season. And let me say this. Let me slow down. I think that the main reason why it was so painfully obvious that Steve Bisciotti had to make this move right now is because we all went into this season thinking that this roster could get it done. Honestly, the past couple of seasons, if we're being dead honest with you. Super chats are rolling in heavy tonight. We're going to get to all of them. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming through, making it rain here at the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. But we all thought that we had a good roster that could get it done, right? And the fact that they missed the playoffs, you go 8-9. I heard Aqib Talib say on him and Skip Bayless's podcast earlier today, right before this news dropped, they were basically making the argument, no, you shouldn't fire Harbaugh. Yeah, you lose at the very last second against the Steelers, right? When you could have went to the playoffs, but they were making the argument like you went from being 1-5 to having a chance to making the playoffs. Like you don't move on from a head coach who pulls you out of that. And it's like, my brother in Christ, we were 8-9. We lost 9 games. Just because the rest of the AFC North was garbage, just like us, does not spare John Harbaugh of any blame. And it was just nasty narratives being spread around. So I'm glad that Steve Bisciotti did the right thing here, man. It looks like he didn't lie over the offseason when he says he wants to win now. Even right after he extended John Harbaugh, just maybe, a month before that, 2 months before that, he pulls the trigger here. He says, John, I'm going to relieve you of your duties. And we're going to get into exactly what they said here. But we got to keep rolling through these super chats, man. We got another one. This one's coming from Always Blessed 410. I think we missed this one. I think he sent this
Yes.
one before we went on live. Appreciate you, Always Blessed. Says, fella, just to go back to the question I asked yesterday, I guess it only took one day. May God bless you, your channel, and your families. Thank you, Always
Thank
Blessed.
you,
We
man.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
And,
Thank
and right back at you and your family, too. But yeah, it only took one day, less than 48 hours, Alex. And we kind of knew that it probably wouldn't come in the first 24 hours because we know that, the Ravens, especially after a heartbreaking into the season, which we're so accustomed to in the past, 10 years, right? They like to give it a day to let the emotions kind of simmer a little bit. And because emotions and passions are going to be high, obviously. But then the very next day, you get Steve Bisciotti telling Harbaugh that, hey, look, you're relieved of your duties. You're out of here, man. I mean, what do you think about the timing of it all, Alex?
you. I mean, definitely took their time to deal with it and kind of go through the motions. Like I said, I think. Well, let me step back real quick. I think everybody as a human can learn something from this. Never get complacent. Never get complacent. I think John Harbaugh got complacent. He thought he had his job safe, especially after this year, 8-9, like you mentioned, with the Super Bowl aspirations, with the roster that was built. He was like, you know what? Well, we fell short again. I can go again next year. No, you can't, John. You thought your job was safe, and 18 years, it was safe. But the higher ups grew frustrated, as was reported.
Yeah.
They were frustrated of the coming up short in the playoffs, time and time again. And now, look at you. You'll go somewhere else. I saw the Giants have it lined up an interview with him. Congratulations, cool. Teams that we kind of expected, the Dolphins, possibly the Raiders. Teams right now that are just clawing for maybe flirting around 500. Not even getting there, flirting around it. They want to get their stadiums full again because they haven't had them full probably since pre-COVID. But
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about. I'm sorry. I'm still over the moon about this. I really am. I'm just
Over
happy it's
the
over with.
absolute moon, Alex. I'm so glad it's over with, man. Again, I had that moment of just bittersweet, so long, farewell, my friend. You know what I mean? It's like, that meme where it's like when you got to kill one of your homies is the guy pointing the gun, and it's like you don't want to do it, you don't want to pull the trigger, but you had to do it. I imagine that's how Steve Bisciotti probably felt the past 48 hours. Another super chat donation here from Ismodius. Appreciate that, making it rain here, dropping the 5-piece in the chat. Says Sutton. We were talking about this after the loss on Sunday. Harb's decision was not going to be decided off of one loss. Week 18 should not have mattered. Yeah, I mean, it was just a culmination of everything that happened throughout this season, man. I mean, from week 1, when you blow a 40-25 lead, I don't care against who it is, because Aqib Talib was also making this, and I keep bringing him up, I know, but he was also making this argument like, oh yeah, the Ravens might have blew a lead 40-25, but it was against the Bills. It was against Josh Allen. He's an MVP. It's like Lamar Jackson, we have our own MVP right there. That's no excuse, right? You
Yeah.
cannot give up a 15-point lead with less than 5 minutes to go in the damn game. It's inexcusable, totally unacceptable, right? And then for you to go again 8-9 this season, 3-6 at home. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? I think that's where it hits the most. Go ahead, Alex.
They blew their load 3 straight times at home. Bengals, Steelers, Patriots. For a team, pack the bank, get loud. And for you to go 3-6 at home and lose,
Appreciate the sub, Doc.
thank you, lose to the Bengals and Steelers, your division rivals at home the way we did. Pause. Yeah, pause. Yeah, but to the Bengals and then to the Steelers, granted, the whole referee stuff, but you still lost them either way. It was sickening, and I think you make a good point there that probably had a lot to do with it. And I saw Ticker Flipper brought up the Super Bowl or bust clip. Imagine the guy leading your team says that thinking about Super Bowl or bust is a weak mentality who's never won anything. Like, what are you talking
Right.
about? It's about the journey, really the journey. Because that's how Calvin Noy, the journey is the process. Fuck that process. Honestly,
Mm.
what has that process gotten you? The the
Appreciate the sub,
the, the
Random.
AFC Championship. Thank you, thank you. That's the process you want to just try to get there at the top, and then you fucking reset because we have gone downhill since that 2023 year, divisional round, and now we missed the fucking playoffs. Get this fucking guy out of here. Um, I won't miss the who's got better than us. I won't miss his little fucking stupid sayings, the stupid shirts. Get that shit out of here. Bring me back to play like a Raven. Get me some real guys, who play with their heart on their sleeve, not some fucking bullshit. Sayonara, Saya freaking Nara.
Sayonara is correct, man. I mean, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Harbaugh, again, he's going to be well taken care of. John Harbaugh will be fine. I just read a report that he's already gotten, I think, seven calls for head coaching positions, right? So he's sought after. He's still getting paid. I mean, he'll probably get a contract somewhere else. I mean, he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But he just no longer needed to be head coach of the Baltimore Ravens because everything started to go stale years ago. Years ago. I mean, 3 playoff wins in what, 13 years, Alex? How do you justify that? You cannot. You cannot justify 3 playoff wins in 12 or 13 years, especially when 9 of those years or 8 of those years you had one of the best quarterbacks in the league. It's totally unacceptable. Oh, well, sudden Lamar Jackson throws interceptions and turns the ball over in the playoffs. Oh, well, suddenly the players are fumbling and doing things. I don't care, right? I mean, when you can literally think all the way back to 2016 and 2017, and you can just go year by year on how this team falls short in devastating fashion, and they can never pull out a close win
Yep.
when they really need it. That's a trend, right? One's an anomaly, two's a trend. Let alone 10 seasons of that. 10 seasons of that. It's unacceptable. It was time. It was time. More super chat donations here. Let's keep rolling through them. Let me see. Chike in the chat. What's going on, Chike? Appreciate you. Says, I want Eric Bieniemy. He will unlock Lamar Jackson. I mean,
We
we'll get
we,
into it.
we gotta put this Eric Bieniemy stuff down. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
not
that that's
happening.
I don't think that that's the right move either. But we'll get into it a little bit later. I mean, of course, this episode we're probably going to talk more about what type of head coach we would want.
Yeah.
Maybe on Thursday's episode we'll do a deeper breakdown on exactly maybe who. I think that this is about to be like for Ravens fans, which is why you want to stay locked into this channel. Make sure you subscribe, like all the videos, everything like that. Join our membership, all of that, because this is about to be literally like election time
Yeah.
for this Ravens flock fan base, right? You're going to be having your own personal favorite candidates. I'm sure Alex is going to have his guys he prefers. I'm going to have my guys I prefer. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you stay locked in with us here. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of that good content. Void with the super chat donation says Ed Reed at head coach, Ray at defensive coordinator. Zach Orr back coaching linebackers. Players need someone who will get on their heads if they mess up. Ray and Ed will not tolerate BS. I think that this one's a little bit hyperbolic as well, Void. I don't think that the Ravens would go completely for, okay, let's just bring the old regime back in, you know what I mean, and just
Yeah.
put them in a leadership position. I don't think that would happen, but Alex, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I can't see Ed, honestly. I can see Ray coming in as like a not a DC, maybe just some associate, but I don't think it's gonna happen. unfortunately, with those guys. But or back coaching linebackers, I can 100% agree with that. And it kind of you brought up, the playoff stuff too. In big games, in playoff games, when does a defense get turnovers? They don't. And to me, once
Nope.
again, that falls on the head coach for the appointment of a defensive coordinator who, after coming off of such a great year, you go with a rookie DC, which hurt us back to back years. I'm not feeling it. And another just flaw of Harbaugh. And I'll tell you this, though, those projects we talked about with Engraven last night, over
Mm.
with. Tell you what, not only did we lose John Harbaugh, we probably lost Daniel Falele too. Both of them. I'll drive him to
Mm.
BWI.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
That's a good point, because that was Harbaugh's guy. That was Harbaugh's guy, right? So whoever comes in next, they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm not starting my regime here with number 77 at right guard, and he needs a contract extension. Yeah, get him up out of here. Like you said, we'll drive him to BWI ourselves, right? Put him on a first class ticket back to New Zealand or wherever he wants to be. Or I'm sure another franchise will pick him up. I'm sure another franchise will pick
Chargers.
up Daniel Falele, right? Somebody will fall for it. Somebody was listening to the broadcast on Sunday night and they heard Chris Collinsworth say how big of an important piece, how big of a role Falele plays in this offense. Somebody will pick him up. But yeah, I think that his time at right guard is done, along with, of course, John Harbaugh getting fired. You mentioned turnovers, Alex.
Hmm.
I said this earlier on Twitter. I said that this Ravens defense as it stands right now, they do not force turnovers. They just gladly accept them when they're offered to them on a silver platter, right? There's a difference there. If you get what I mean, there's a difference there. Like none of the turnovers that we forced this season really felt like it was a result of like a chaotic defense, right? Who was just flying all over the field and quite literally forcing mistakes. We didn't really see that. We saw like tip passes that landed in the breadbasket of Marlon Humphrey, right? We saw a strip sack where Roquan Smith scooped and scored against the Browns. I mean, but like by and large, you didn't really get a whole lot of like turnovers that really made this defense feel like intimidating. You know, the defense they don't intimidate anybody. Nobody's afraid of this defense, especially not in the fourth quarter, man. Something needed to change on that front. Like you said, I think that falls back on head coach. Another super chat donation here from Wondering Raven. Appreciate that. Dropping the 10 piece, making it rain here on the Purple Rain podcast. Says, yo, canceled a couple trips for away games, and I've been sitting on buying a couple jerseys until something changes. I'm definitely throwing Loops jersey in the cart now. I mean, look, man, I was on record the other day saying that I think that Tyler Loop missing that kick actually saved John Harbaugh's job, because I thought that Steve Bisciotti would have it in his head that, like, okay, our season ended, yeah, but the only reason why it ended so abruptly like it did is because our rookie kicker made a mistake. So let's just, chalk it up to it being a rookie mistake there, and let's run it right back. I thought that that's the direction that we were going to go. I'm glad we didn't. But yeah, it might, like Alex said, right? We got to get a Loop jersey, right? And get it signed too. Get it signed.
Oh man,
Hey,
that's
where's Steve Loop at? Where's Steve Loop at? That's what I need to see right
like
now. Is he in the chat? Is Steve in the chat? Somebody get
it's
Steve in here.
crazy because like I know like Tyler probably still feels awful about it, but
Yeah.
he doesn't understand how the fans are feeling. Like you're low key a cult hero now for that. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
low key, like you're gonna be remembered as you're the guy who got Harbaugh axed. So thank you, Tyler.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you, Wandering Raven, for your 10-piece super chat donation. Let's roll through some more here. Oh, yeah, you said the Super Bowl or bust clip probably has Steve fuming, says Ticker Flipper. Totally agree with that. Asmodeus with a super chat donation says, who are your head coaching picks? So see, that's the thing. We're not going to really get into too many of the picks tonight, right? I mean, there's
I
some
have
names that are out there that people are floating around. I have one name,
I've
but go ahead. Give me yours.
Kubiak,
Okay.
Brian Flores, and I like Shula
Please
as
tell me
well
we agree
from
on
the
the last one.
Rams. I like Shula from the
Mm.
Rams. Um, I'm not feeling Jesse Minter. I'm not feeling it.
I'm low key kind of feeling Mike LaFleur. Low key, you know what I mean? Like
Okay,
younger
okay,
guy,
okay.
offensive minded head coach. He ushered a rookie into this league and actually did really well with him developing Jordan Love. I think that if he inherits a Lamar Jackson offense, can you imagine what he could do with somebody who can throw just as well as Jordan Love, if not better, right? And also be able to run the football, man. I mean, I think that the sky would be the limit. He would bring a new creativity and also just a new culture right? A new toughness. I feel like the players could really buy into a Mike LaFleur. So far, without knowing anything else, that's my top pick right now, Mike LaFleur.
And tell you this, I put a tweet out actually. It was like I said, coaches might leave their jobs, and you mentioned LaFleur. I could see Matt LaFleur leaving the Packers and wouldn't be a Raven, because he already
Yeah,
was on kind of the hot seat per se. Now I do want us to wipe the whole staff clean. Coordinators. Munkin is cool, but I want a whole new fresh face. DC for me, if I could any DC, it's Jim Schwartz. He's a Baltimore guy. He had that freaking Browns defense playing. Um,
yeah.
Edge rushers, obviously with Miles Garrett, but for me, there's just endless opportunities this offseason. Like you hear a Max Crosby, could be on the way out. Obviously, the Raiders aren't going to say they want to trade him, but if he forces that trade, man, I'd be all for it. That's why I'm so excited because this team can just have so much juice injected into it by the time we start in September next year, and it's just going to be, I think, for us too. Like we knew what a John Harbaugh offseason was. We don't know what's going on this offseason. We don't know the guys we can trade for, the
Appreciate the
guys we're going to
sub,
bring in.
Jones.
Thank you. And also that John Harbaugh doghouse, it's gone. It's gone. I'm sorry, Ben Cleveland. I'm sorry you left before the doghouse was smashed up and torn apart, and we took axes and broke it. But that doghouse is finished. It's finished. It's beautiful.
It's time to let the dogs out, man. Who let the dogs out? Steve Bisciotti did, man. Let the dogs out. Unfortunately, like you said, Ben Cleveland didn't really get his shot, didn't get his day in court to say, to really prove himself or not. But hey, man, again, ecstatic. Can't say enough about it. More super chat donations. Appreciate y'all for coming through on this episode 367 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you like this video. Please leave a like on the video. That helps us out so much with the algorithm and everything like that. Also, make sure you hype this video if you're part of the hashtag replay gang. Leave hashtag replay gang down below in the comments and let us know your thoughts on John Harbaugh getting fired and who you think should be the next coach up for the Ravens, right? Void in here in the chat with a 2-piece. Appreciate that. Void says, if not for Jacoby Jones, rest in peace. Harbs has no rings. Yeah, we remember Jacoby Jones
You
had
know,
a phenomenal game in that Super Bowl. Go ahead.
when I sit back and think about it, Flacco as well. Like I think because we had Lamar, I really couldn't sit back and appreciate Flacco, but I mean, Flacco did what he could with a lot less. When we compare him with Harbaugh, Harbaugh had a lot
Yeah.
more, after the Flacco era, and he couldn't get us back to the Super Bowl. So thank you, Flacco, for getting that Super Bowl as well. Like that to me is more on Joe, Jacoby, and the guys rallying together more than in like a coaching masterclass, unfortunately. But he did get us one either way. So thanks for that, John.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like F you, John. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I said, there were some good times, there were some bad times, and it's been 18 years, right, that he's given this franchise. I mean, for better or for worse, you got to tip your cap to him, and just wish him nothing but the best. Wish him nothing but the
yeah.
best. I mean, I think that more than anything was probably more of an amicable parting of ways than Steve Bisciotti just kind of ruling down the hammer. I think Steve Bisciotti kind of just had a sit down talk with John Harbaugh and say, "Hey, look, man, like, I don't want to I don't want to fire you. I don't want to have to do that, but like the team just needs to go in a different direction. So I think it's just best if we relieve you of your duties and we just part ways, man. Of course, your contract fully guaranteed. I appreciate the sub.
Thank you.
Um, your contract's fully guaranteed, but it's just time for us to go in a different direction. So we're gonna come out, and I'm gonna make sure that the headline doesn't say that you're fired. I'm just gonna make it say that you're out. You're out as
Yeah.
head coach for the Ravens. And we'll kind of carry it that way. But appreciate that donation, Void. We got another one from Kwame. Says EDC needs to go for drafting all those hurt players. He's been
And
outsmarting himself for years. Go ahead.
this is a great point of talking because I'm right there with you. I got now my microscope on ADC, and I think his seat's a little warm right now for Mr. Bisciotti because he just saw the coach going, brother. You've been giving out contracts for people who just don't play up to them. Your draft picks, a third rounder, Adisa Isaac. Where's he at? You know what I mean? You drafted Emory Jones. He was hurt, and granted, he's looked good when he came in, but you keep drafting hurt guys, and we're not seeing a return on them. You're drafting all these guys in the fourth round, fifth round. They get cut the next year. You draft guys now. Well, hopefully the drafting guys from Michigan is done. Hopefully we don't have to go back to that route, or unless if they're qualified. Oh, sorry, but no more like to the Ben Masons and such. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, EDC, I definitely have my eye on you next.
for sure. For sure. I mean, he's got his work cut out for him. Of course, starting this April, he's got to get something going. DWAS with the super chat says, just woke up and saw the news. Joe Brady is my top guy. Baltimore football history. Appreciate that sub. But Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow, again, I think that Thursday's episode, Alex, we can start to really dive into,
Yeah.
who we would really want, give our top 5 candidates. Again, if that sounds good to you guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe, turn on the notifications, because the rest of the live streams, well, throughout the whole offseason, you guys know we go live all year, but up until like leading up until the Ravens actually hire a new head coach, it is going to be top tier content, just speculating on who could be the next leader of this Baltimore Ravens team. So do not miss out on that. Please make sure you subscribe and join our membership, because there will be certain exclusive episodes coming out for our members only. Maddie Boom with the super chat donation says head coach Flores, DC, Raheem Morris, and Shorts, OC Munkin. Okay, so he's already got it all figured out. Maddie does. Flores. Now let's start talking about this, Alex.
Yeah.
Do you what archetype of head coach do you think would be best? Like, what qualities do you want in the next Ravens head coach? Because let me bring this to you. Steve Bisciotti, we just got off an 18-year roller coaster with
Yep.
John Harbaugh. The
Yep.
guy who he puts in position next to be the head coach of this team is going to get, I think, at a minimum, as long as he's competent, a minimum of 5 to 10 years, right? So you have to
Yeah.
pick, you have to guess correctly on this one, right? What archetype of head coach do you think that the Ravens should bring in? What qualities?
Like you said, in our 30 years of existence, we've had 3 head coaches: Marchabroda, Billick, and then Harbaugh. For me, like you said, you're gonna want longevity. You're gonna want a guy who can be there long. For me, I've had just that absolute just salivating just desire to have a guy like a Sean McVay. And he took me by storm. And I think in 2017 when he got hired by the Rams, because they doubted him. What are you doing hiring this 31-year-old guy? Can he even drink yet? This and that, rah 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 rah. But he brings energy. He brings just a new way to think about the game, and that's kind of all I'm looking for. And obviously, I can talk about Mike McDonald, but we saw him Christmas night, 2023, 5 interceptions on Brock Purdy, screaming with the guys on the sideline. That's what I want. I want a guy who can be a leader, who can resonate with his players. Not this man. Every time I watch you, I just get mesmerized by you, Lamar. Cool. I want you to be like that with everybody else. Hype them up, get them like that as well. I never saw that with Harbaugh. Um, a leader of men, genuinely. I don't want a cheerleader, and that's what John Harbaugh became. I want a guy who can get in his coordinator's ass when shit isn't working and tell them they're doing wrong, and don't just take the playbook. No. I want that. So I also want him honestly not to be that guy with age, but preferably under 40.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, again, like you said, not to sound ageist or anything like that, but you have to have somebody who can, like you said, resonate with these 20-something-year-old guys, and I just don't think that John Harbaugh, his energy really fired up the guys in the locker room. And so, like you said, you need somebody young. You need somebody, I think, who's intense. And you also need somebody who kind of has like that boy genius, right, kind of quality to them, like a Sean McVay, like you said. Mike McDonald was another one as well, but we let him walk right out the door. And now a couple years later, we're letting Harbaugh walk out the door, and we're kind of just sitting here ass out. If we could have just held on to Mike McDonald for 2 more seasons, right, just let him know, hey, look, you're next up, Mike. Like if you wait around, you can come up, and this throne can be yours. Right, you can have Lamar, you can inherit Lamar Jackson, all of that. We don't think Harbaugh's going to be around all that much longer, but they didn't see it at the time. And again, hindsight's always 2020. But another thing that I think about, Alex, is you need somebody who is going to be aggressive and play these games to win these games, right?
Correct.
Not to not lose them, right? I think that it was very telling on with 14 seconds left in that game. John Harbaugh decides to kick the field goal. And I'm not super mad at that decision, but instead of playing to win it and running one more play when you have that last time out and trusting your guy and telling Derrick Henry, hey, look, go close this game for us. Go be a football player, right? Don't put a 44-yarder on our rookie kicker. Go out there, get us 5, 6, 7 yards. We'll call a timeout, then we'll kick the field goal. Let's go win this game. Let's not try not to lose, right? And I think that decisions like that have lost the Ravens a lot of very, very close matchups, right? And you just can't do that when you have all this talent on the roster. You know, I don't know if you've heard of Ben Solik, Alex. He's
Yes.
kind of been
Yes.
viral today in the past couple of days for going off on a Kay Adams show about all the things wrong with the Ravens. And he spoke a lot of truth on that podcast, but there was one thing that he said that I vehemently disagreed with, right? And he said is that this Ravens team just lacks talent. That was the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. Because, like I said, we went into this season, of course, no matter BK after week 2 and things like that, but we went into the season thinking that, yeah, this is going to be one of the best secondaries in the league, right? One of the best rushing attacks in the league, one of the best passing attacks in the league. We got Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman coming off a really good season. D Hop's the perfect vet this year. Andrews and Likely got something to prove. Like, we really, really thought going into the season we had that roster. We knew it was a little bit shaky at offensive line, but we were confident based off of what we heard last season. At the end of last season, they started to kind of get it together. But refuse to believe that this Ravens team does not have talent. They have talent in place. I mean, Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, Travis Jones, Lamar freaking Jackson, you know what I mean? Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum is talented despite his struggles this year at times. Derrick Henry, of course, Zay Flowers, all these guys. There was no excuse. There was absolutely no excuse. So the fact that you can't get it done with those rosters, and here's another one, Alex. Another one. The past 5-6 years where we had gotten eliminated in the playoffs, or for example this past Sunday as well, the Ravens were favored going into each and every one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens were favored to beat the Steelers this past Sunday night. The Ravens were favored to beat the Bills last year in the playoffs. The Ravens were favored to beat the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl in 2023. Right? The Ravens were heavy favorites, 10-point favorites against the Titans in 2019 before they had that meltdown in the playoffs. Right? You can point back to so many different times where the Ravens were supposed to get it done, but they couldn't. And it was always convenient for a couple of years to just kind of put all the blame on player execution. But I think that time, that excuse has ran out. It's ran its course now. It's like at some point, all the coordinators in the world and all of the rotation of the roster in the world cannot change what is holding this team back, because it's something deeper than all of that. It's the leadership. It's the leadership. So, again, that's why we are happy that John Harbaugh is out as head coach, and we're going to need somebody, like you said. I think you need either a dude, an absolute, bro, or you need a boy genius, right? Somebody who's going to be a creative mastermind and take this team to the next level schematically, right? Because so far, the league has had the Ravens figured out. And it'll be interesting to see. Think about it like this. Just look at John Harbaugh's career in a vacuum of just his matchups against the Steelers, right? I think that the Ravens are -6 or -7 in the Steelers rivalry. When Harbaugh goes against Mike Tomlin.
Yep.
A lot of these years, past 18 years, and they've both been head coach for 18 years, a lot of these years, the Ravens have had more talented rosters, especially the last 9 years. In fact, that you're still struggling and still getting out-coached by this guy that you have to play twice a year, who now looks like he's not going anywhere. You're still getting out-coached by him, and you have a better roster. You have a better quarterback. You have a better running back. Your defense is better. It just didn't make any sense, man. Again, it was totally time. It was totally time.
You mentioned the Steelers. I bring up Andy Reid. This guy just looks scared whenever you play Andy Reid and the Chiefs. And it wasn't even, just, I think, a joke anymore. 1 or 2 times it's funny, haha. But it became serious when they came here AFC Championship and we just looked scared. 17-10, 10 points with that offense. And we couldn't put we put 10 points in a 60-minute game against the Chiefs. I am led to believe that's, a lot more than just the talent on the field. I think it was just execution from the coaches as well. And then you saw we lost to them again. And then again, it just is. It's the same thing. Juan here says we need to go get Flores and Jay Jetta as max too. I can see 2 out of those 3. I can see Flores. I can see Max Crosby. I don't think they're going to let Jettas go. He's, I think, too good of a receiver, and especially they just resigned him. JJ McCarthy, who, by the way, took himself out of the game with another hand I word. This guy is just made of glass. It looks like. You want to talk about, I word prone quarterbacks. This guy can't stay on the field more than 2 or 3 games at a time. But wouldn't be mad at Flores. Talk about a dude. That's a dude. Leader of men. The way he had their defense playing. I like that. I just don't see Jettas coming through. I don't know about you. I can't see him being traded.
I can't see it either. Appreciate the sub, GE. But yeah, I couldn't see it either. That's just too much. I think that Max Crosby, they've already come out and said, I think the GM for the Raiders already came out and doubled down on them not trading Max Crosby, so I don't think that that's a possibility. Jettas, yeah, I mean, if the Vikings want to kind of retool a little bit, then maybe they get rid of Jettas and they get a little haul so they can kind of do that. But I still don't think that. I mean, and maybe this is where it changes because before underneath John Harbaugh, I was thinking to myself like, there's no reason for us to go get a Justin Jefferson just for Lamar Jackson to be playing behind Daniel Faalele and
Exactly.
Andrew Voorhees, right? Like Jettis is a guy who has to get open. Yes, he can get open quick. I understand that, but to maximize his potential, you got to have a good O line. So, but again, I still don't think that they'll be willing to part ways with him unless it was for a price that they could not refuse, an offer they couldn't refuse, right? And Flores, like you said, a dude, I would love that. I think he would relate to the players a lot more than what we had with Harbaugh.
Yep.
He's a hard nosed coach who will hold his guys accountable. Now he's a defensive minded head coach, and I do believe that we need an offensive minded head coach with a stud at DC. You know, like you said, a short something like that. That would be awesome. I would love that. Go ahead.
Jim Schwartz makes way too much sense. Literally from Maryland, not too far from Baltimore
Yeah.
from here. You see just what he did with the Browns. Kept them in games against good offenses when they had Dylan Gabriel out there, rookie quarterbacks out there, hell Joe Flacco out there. Like gave him a chance to win it. You saw it against us. We had to use some fake tush push nonsense to beat them. We had to go deep into the bag of tricks to beat them. P. Brown here says George Pickens to the Ravens. This has been discussed. I've seen it. Um, we would always say no to him because Harbaugh wouldn't allow it.
Right.
You can have that conversation now. That's the best part about all of this. That's why
Yeah.
I'm so excited. We
Yeah.
don't know what we're about to get. We might be able to get a guy with a little bit of screws loose in the head. We don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get a guy who can handle that, then like it works. It works. So yeah, this opens up so many, like a world of new possibilities, right? There's also the possibility of skill players, depending on who we hire, skill players actually wanting to come to Baltimore, skill players in their prime, trying to force their way over to Baltimore. Because who doesn't want to play with a rejuvenated Lamar Jackson with insert, offensive head coach genius who we're getting ready to hire or somebody or something like that. Man, this just opens up a whole new can of worms when it comes to this Ravens team. Ian Rappaport had just reported that the Ravens parted ways with John Harbaugh today. Among the reasons, they felt he had lost the locker room, including but not limited to Lamar Jackson. Alex, when you hear that, what do you think?
Um, I definitely agree with it. You could see it. You could 100% see it. Uh, I think with the whole I word stuff as well, that this year kind of blew up in his face. The whole practicing stuff blew up in his face. It just, I think he got tired of playing behind that line. Obviously, pure speculation, but can you blame him? I hope our next coach puts emphasis to build the trenches, to tell EDC build a team um, from the lines up, not from the other way. Because I just have, what has that won you? What has that gotten you in these past couple of years?
Yeah.
Disappointment. That's kind of how I feel about. I 100% agree with it. I can see it all happening.
Yeah. And again, like the philosophy changes that are going to take place now. Like you mentioned, building this team from the outside in has been this team's MO for the past, like it seems like 5 years, right? Now, hopefully, we can finally get somebody in who will actually rebuild those trenches on both sides of the football, right? Because that's where it all starts. And we remember what happens when Lamar Jackson has a competent offensive line. I expect to see Emory Jones starting next season. I expect us to hit the draft again for another guard. I do not now at this point again, like we mentioned earlier, expect the Ravens to extend Daniel Faalele, so that's another plus there. Man, again, a world of possibilities. A world of possibilities. I saw somebody put something here in the chat. Let me see. Punch Dab said, "Yeah, Jim Shorts had the Lions, Browns, Eagles, and Bills front seven all playing hard. Yeah, man, we
Yes.
we need that. We need that back, man, because what we see or what we've seen from this Ravens defense in the past, this past season, is just the fact that like they seem just out of position. They seem
Hmm.
confused. They seem like they don't know where they need to be. I think back to the Cheeto Awuzie slip that led to
Oh
the
my
touchdown
god.
late from Aaron Rodgers, right? How are you not coaching your guys not to fall into a trap like that? There's what a minute left in the game. They have zero timeouts, right? And you give up a touchdown over the top. You give up a throw
It's
over the top. And by the way, there's no safety help over there. Go ahead.
it's Calvin Austin. It's like he's gonna burn you. It's their fastest player on
Yeah.
the team. Why are you biting?
Like, bro, he got so Cheeto Awuzie got so ahead of his skis on that one, like on that slip, right? Like, people want to say, that's on the player, that's on the player. I get that, but no, in that scenario, you're coaching to have these guys 10 yards off of their guy, right? If you're already giving him 10 yards of cushion, why do you need to step up at the prospect of him catching the ball underneath and inbounds with no timeouts? All you have to do, let him catch it, for goodness sakes, and then go up and make the tackle inbounds. Make them run as many plays as possible so they can maybe force, make a mistake and have a turnover, and then we win the game, right? Instead, you just do not give up that play in that moment. You just can't. You have to coach your guys. I just don't understand that. But it's things like that again. Why we need somebody who's going to coach up this defense and actually put guys in the right positions, man. I can't say enough about that. Can't stress that
They
enough.
they had a woozy on all fours, all freaking fours. That's how bad it was. I mean,
Crazy.
especially him who had a really good year. I'd say for the season to end like that, and for his season to end like that, you can't be doing that. I'm doing a real quick some non-Raven stuff. I see we have
Okay.
Happy NASCAR. Hi guys, sorry about a rough season. Texans fan here. Appreciate that, Happy NASCAR. Just letting you know, everybody in this chat is now a Texans fan with you. So we're gonna be sending all of our good vibes to you for your playoff game come Monday night. We hope you beat the Steelers in emphatic fashion and advance the divisional round. But so thank you for that and thank you for coming through.
Yeah, and thank you for the sub, Jolly. We appreciate that. Asmodeus with another super chat donation, making it rain here, says, when do you think the Ravens hire a new head coach? This is a fabulous question, Alex. Let's get into it. Okay, how about this, Alex?
Okay.
How about we set the over under for how many days or how many weeks it's going to take for the Ravens to hire a new head coach? Let's set it at about what? Let's say 2.5 weeks. Do you think it'll be over or under 2.5 weeks until the Ravens have their new head coach?
I'm gonna go. I'll go over. I think it'll be first week of February, right before the Super Bowl, like media week. It'll happen.
Interesting, interesting. And because it was funny, we talked to Engraven yesterday on yesterday's episode, which is now pretty much an obsolete episode, right? Funny how that works with the news cycle. But Engraven was saying, like, yeah, I mean, if the Ravens were going to move on from Harbaugh, they should do it fast, because right now there are teams who, or as of yesterday, right, there were teams who had already fired their head coach and were already clearly and openly shopping for a new head coach and the best candidates that this year has to offer on the market. So I'm glad that the Ravens got to it early, less than 48 hours after the season ender, and now they can start going shopping. They can start going shopping, and I think that I'll take the under on 2.5 weeks, because I think that a guy like Steve Bisciotti, I don't think he would necessarily move on from John Harbaugh so quickly if he didn't already have somebody specific in mind. If he didn't already have a
Yeah.
favorite, like an idea, right? You can't tell me he hasn't been thinking about it, at least leading up to the end of the season. So I think he has an idea, and I think we see that idea come to fruition in under 2.5 weeks. But put
Okay.
down below in the comments what you think. Do you think that it'll take over or under 2.5 weeks for the Ravens to get their new head coach? Who do you think it will be? What kind of coach do you think it needs to be? All that
Yeah.
down below in the comments with the hashtag replay gang.
Yeah. And tell us why. Definitely want to hear, reasons for why. And then if it's somebody who I haven't heard, I'll definitely do my research on them. Kind of know the broad guys right now who have been rumored. And I think you bring up firing him now. Nobody's, been hired yet. So I think now with the Ravens, it's the most coveted position. Like you said, we were a Super Bowl, we were the Super Bowl favorite. Now that's an open job position. I think you could be talking to the Falcons right now, and you could be about to sign that ink on that contract. But if Steve Bisciotti from the Baltimore Ravens calls you, hold on a second, hold on,
Yeah.
I got to go take this real quick, just real quick. I think that's why I'm really happy we did it now, because we can get if we want to get our guy, we can get him. It's kind of what I'm trying to say. Like we are the top position, top spot that everybody I think wants to have. Like I said, I think some coaches would leave their job right now to come here, and I'll stand on that. It may sound
Yeah, I
crazy,
mean,
but
no, it's not crazy. I agree. I mean, like, you got to be looking at this job like, I mean, it's an opening. Basically, what Steve Bisciotti is telling the open head coaching market right now is, hey, who wants to come win a Super Bowl? Right? We've already got all the ingredients here in this kitchen. Right? We got the quarterback. We got the pieces on defense. Right? We got skill players. We got an awesome running back who just finished second in rushing yards this year. Um, who wants to come win a Super Bowl? Who can do it? And I know a lot of coaches, a lot of head coaches are literally breaking their neck and waiting by their phone to see if the Ravens call them, right? Hell, they might be even giving Steve Bisciotti calls themselves, right? Hey, heard y'all need a new head coach. You know, you want to bring me in for an interview? I'll at least throw my name in the hat, right? It's such an attractive job right now. I love that because I think it's going to draw some of the best candidates. I do.
Yeah, and just kind of talking more about the Harbaugh stuff now. Do you think after Doug Peterson got fired after winning a Super Bowl, a lot sooner, quicker than than Harbaugh got fired? It was like 2 or 3 years after he won the Super Bowl, he got fired. Goes to the Jags, does nothing, gets fired. Like I'm kind of tired of this whole John Harbaugh just changing history. Like he'll go to another team and he'll probably be all right. I just checked my Twitter. Like I'm kind of getting cooked for saying that I'm not gonna miss John Harbaugh because he'll go somewhere else and he was winning these playoff games before Lamar. That's cool and all, but I don't think you've watched Ravens games the past couple of years because I know we all have. We've seen what some of the bigger issues
Facts.
were, and I don't know. I can tell who doesn't watch Ravens football and who just trying to blame it on the quarterback than the coach.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. And like I was mentioning, like Aqib Talib on him and Skip Bayless's podcast,
Yeah,
he's definitely one of those people. Like you don't watch Ravens football. I mean, you see the highlight plays where Lamar fumbles or throws an interception or Mark Andrews fumbles or whatever happens, right? But you don't really like see like that the problem is a lot deeper than just those specific plays that you kind of cherry pick, right? It's a
yep,
lot deeper. Um Majin Bull, appreciate your super chat donation here. It says no mentor, no Harbaugh, guys. We gotta start fresh. Gotta start
that's right.
fresh. If we're gonna get somebody we're gonna pluck somebody off of a coaching tree. It does not need to be John Harbaugh's. That's for sure.
That's
I
right.
agree with that. We have another one, another super chat donation. This one's coming from Void. Appreciate you, Void, dropping the 5 piece in the chat. Man, you guys are making it rain, going
Yes,
crazy tonight. Void says plenty of coaches would be salivating at the chance to have a
yes.
guy like Lamar at quarterback and Derrick Henry at running back, with Zay showing elite signs outside. You know who would really be salivating right now?
Who's that?
And let me know if this is crazy. Bill Belichick, right? Bill Belichick
Mm,
is actually on record saying that, coaching Lamar Jackson would be like a dream, basically, in so many words. I know I'm paraphrasing there, but that could be, a potential candidate. Alex, what are your thoughts? No?
it's that girlfriend or whatever he has with him. That's a whole bunch of drama I don't want. She she's a cancer. I saw the way it went with UNC. If he was by himself at UNC, I think they'd be a lot better. I don't know whatever she is. That's like the main reason why I don't want him. I'll be so honest with you. Like she would just try to do so much stuff here, and I think it would just kind of ruin kind of what we have. I'm good on Belichick. I really am.
That's fair. That's fair. I didn't even think about that. It would be definitely like a media shitstorm surrounding Baltimore if he were to come to Baltimore. That's for sure. This one's coming from Majin Bull. Says, get rid of the guys who are ass on the field but pop ass in pressers.
Yes.
Marlon Humphrey, Roquan, KVN, and Marlowe again. Alex, what are your
This.
thoughts?
This. So they had the locker clean out yesterday, and they asked Van Noy about coming back. He wants to come back as what? As a coach? Not as a player. I'm tired of keeping guys after their expiration date. We've done it time and time again. Edge rushers, secondary. I'm cool on it. I'm good on it. It's been cool the couple of years we had here, Mr. Van Noy. I appreciate you for helping us trying to get to a Super Bowl, um, but it's time to go. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Respectfully, right?
Yes.
Kyle Van Noy, it's definitely time, brother. We need some young guns out there. We need some guys who are gonna pin their ears back on downs 1 through 3, 1 through 4 sometimes, and be a legitimate threat to get after the quarterback, because Kyle Van Noy, hate to say it, but he's got one move, right? He's got one gear at this point in his career, and he can only really bring it out maybe once every other game. You see him either get a pressure or make a big play and actually get a sack or something like that. And it's actually a lot further and few between than that, but it's just over, man. He's getting older. With him was good. I think we got a lot out of him,
Mhm.
but it's definitely time to move on for sure. When it comes to Marlon Humphrey, you guys know how I feel. You guys know how I feel. I mean, anybody who can get their heart ripped out, you have a chance to go to the playoffs, your heart gets ripped out, and then 10 hours later, you hop on Twitter like, oh, yeah, did you guys miss me? I'm back on social media. You guys miss me? Leave it down below in the comments, knowing what you're doing there. You know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I just, that type of mentality, if you're going to get cooked on the field, You need to be silent on social media. I'm sorry. Some people will kill me for that and say, oh, well, Sutton, do you bring work home with you too? Yeah, you know what? Sometimes I do. If I get pissed off at work, sometimes that carries into my home life. It's just natural, right? It's just natural. I'm not saying that he has to do that, but I'm just saying, like, read the freaking room, Marlon. Read the room, man. You can't go out there and be getting cooked by the likes of Adam Thielen and then be playing in the fan base's face the very next morning after we've been eliminated and there's no more Ravens football until September. So I agree with you there on Marlowe. I mean, I think it's just time to get him up out of here too. Roquan, the
This
amount of
Roquan.
missed tackles, that I saw from Roquan Smith, asinine, right? I mean, there's just no way. Every time I watch him play, I'm like, I just think to myself, and I hate that I do this, Alex. I really do hate that I do this, but I think like, oh, Ray Lewis wouldn't have missed that tackle, right? And this is just me being a spoiled Ravens fan, right? A spoiled Ravens fan again. But I think to myself, like, yeah,
Man,
Ray wouldn't have missed that tackle. Bernard Pollard wouldn't have missed that tackle. He would have ran through that guy. Yet you're letting, who was it, the likes of Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell stiff arm you into the dirt, right? And turn TFLs into 13-yard gains. Like, what is that? What is that? Like, I mean, like the Roquanisms before the game, like you mentioned before, get that shit out of here, right? If you're not going to translate that to on the field play, why are you here? Respectfully, Roquan, why are you here? I don't get it.
Ray Lewis had to play against Jerome Bettis twice a year. The likes of
Yeah,
Eddie George, Edgerrin James, those guys. Falk. And you can't tackle Jalen Warren, Roquan Smith? 100 million.
please.
You're willing to die for this from the first snap to the last snap? From the first snap to the last snap, you were absolute ass cheeks, Roquan Smith. You were getting outplayed by guys like Trenton Simpson. All due respect. With all due respect, he is making pennies compared to what you're making. And that is what just pisses me off. And I hope he realizes how bad his play was. And he won't take a pay cut, but some restructure or something because that's just been a bad contract, unfortunately. It was good the first year, but since then, like, what were his impact plays?
I mean, the biggest impact play he had was that scoop and score. And again, it's
Week
a
two
scoop and score, right?
against Joe
Yeah,
Flacco and the Browns, 41-10. Much like the Ravens under John Harbaugh, a bunch of front runners, it felt like. Genuinely. Bunch of front runners.
yeah,
Cool.
totally agree.
We're at 41-10. What happens when the going gets tough?
Yeah.
Disappears.
Are you going to make a play? Just disappears, right? Casper. Another super chat donation from Asmodia says no to Bill Belichick. My cousin is from Boston. It's a hard no. And I totally get that. Totally get that, right? Let me see. Appreciate that, Asmodeus. Again, one of our members here and a moderator. That's Asmodeus to you in the chat. Appreciate you
Ooh.
for coming through, brother, as always. Travis with the $5 super chat donation in the chat. Appreciate that, Travis. Travis says, I'm gonna throw Nick Saban's name in the hat, right? What do we think about Nick Saban coming to coach the Ravens, right?
Doesn't fit anything I want, unfortunately. I'm just a guy. We saw Nick Saban in the NFL years ago with the Dolphins. Didn't work, and not feeling with it now. So I don't think it'll happen now. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Mike was muted. But no, I feel that too. I just don't think that at the NFL level, he's going to be a
Yeah.
viable option at head coach. I want somebody with experience, somebody who's been in and around the NFL and seen some success in some capacity. Right. That's what I'm looking for here. But probably not Nick Saban. But appreciate your super chat donation, Travis. We do appreciate that. I think you might be a new face here. If so, make sure you like the video,
Welcome.
subscribe to the channel. We'd love to see you here more often, Travis. We appreciate you for coming through. Let me see. We have more donations, more super chats. I gotta get to. Gotta scroll. Chat's going crazy tonight. 230 people watching live. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all like this video, subscribe as well. Follow us on Twitter if you're watching over there. Majin Bull with the 5-piece donation says Marlo got to pick and choose who he covered, and it was usually the third wide receiver. Bruh. Never the one, I guess you're saying. Sounds like a Harbaugh guy to me. Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, Marlo just the decline is crazy. The fall off is crazy. And I get he had those interceptions. He had a couple turnovers. I remember he had the forced fumble and like somewhere in the middle of the season that was pretty clutch. I love to see that, but just you know, in general, it seemed like he was getting cooked at least 1, 2, or 3 times a game, and that was very, very noticeable. He's not a lockdown corner anymore. He's not as athletic as he used to be. So yeah, I think that it's time for him to go. Definitely time for him to go.
And the fall from last year, because I'm on record, I thought he was Defensive Player of the Year candidate last year. Uh, interceptions, fumbles, forced recoveries. Like he was everywhere. Wasn't getting beat.
Yeah.
Definitely could make a case for him as a DPOI. And for this year to get beat by Adam Thielen in the big 2026, who was cut by the Vikings and the Panthers. Have we seen the Panthers wide receiving room, bar Tet? It's not good. They just let
Yeah.
go of Hunter Renfro. Hunter Renfro beat out Adam Thielen. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I mean, Adam Thielen is ranked the 130th out of 133 wide receivers according to PFF this season. So
and Marlon was like 111 out of 114 for corners. So, guess it was a good
ass on
matchup.
ass.
Two cheeks of the
Ass
same ass.
versus- Two cheeks of the same ass. Exactly. Void says here, but appreciate you, Majin Bull, for the super chat donation. Void says here with his own super chat donation says lock Marlon and Davy Jones' locker and make him read Pickensburg tweets. Roquan might need to shut up with the speeches. They help nobody. Teddy Buchanan is linebacker one for real. Yeah, shout out to Teddy Buchanan. I think he just had surgery just recently within the last 24 hours on his
Yeah.
ACL. And some people were asking why didn't he get it right when it happened. I guess somebody said sometimes they let the swelling go down and let the knee strengthen up a little bit before they do surgery. So I think he should be back and he should have a big role next year. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, I mean with Marlon again, since he is a social media guy, again, Instagram live, this and hopping on Twitter, and it's just it's not what we want to see anymore. Not what we want to see, right?
It was fun a couple years ago. It was fun. But now it's over with. And I think it was cute when we, first got Lamar and we were just winning, 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 blowing teams out and to 23. But when the going starts to get tough and you're squeaking by the Browns, who had their third string quarterback come in Shador to take his first snaps in the NFL, and you barely won that game, let's read the room. Let's not go live on Instagram. Not the best
Yeah,
look, but he did.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That just,
And
that,
consistently,
yeah,
yeah, like consistently, like every time he pans over to Lamar Jackson's like, "Yo, bro, what are you
he's like
doing, bro? Like, get the
shameless.
camera out of my face. Like, what have we done to celebrate in the manner that you do each and every time we win? We could beat the Jets by 1 point or the Titans by 1 point, and guess who's going to be on that Instagram live right after the game? Marlon Humphrey, like, oh yeah, big dubs, and he's gonna walk around the plane and show everybody. It's just like, bro, again, read the room. You need the mentality that the job's not finished. Like Marlo's the type of guy who's like he thinks the job is finished after just again one win. And I get it, you want to cherish the moments and things like that, but that's just not the mentality that champions have, that true champions have. I mean, Kobe Bryant said it himself, like when winning playoff games or winning series and things like that, have a really good record in the regular season, and they ask him like, well, how do you really feel about these accomplishments? And he goes, uh, "Job's not finished. Job's not finished. There's no reason to celebrate right now. Zero reason to celebrate until we hoist that trophy at the end of the year. Then we can go celebrate. Then we can go to Cancun on our terms, right? Like that. That's where it is for me, man. I just think that Marlon just doesn't have the personality that's conducive to championship football, and it's unfortunate. I mean, he's a quirky guy, weird quirky guy
Yeah.
who I know loves to do it up on social media, but I don't think it should be here. I don't think it should be here.
He definitely has worked himself into uh, a job after the game. He'll be probably on a college football pre-show on ESPN
Oh
or
yeah,
Fox or one of them. He definitely is going to slot in easily, and good for him. Life after football. I applaud you for thinking about that, but you could do a little without some of the, like you said, the IG lives, like Charlie Collar saying, "Hey, turn it off," or "Hey, are you live?" in the middle of him giving him his a speech on the plane. That's just not a good look.
yeah, yeah. Not a good look at all. But yeah. So as we get ready to wrap up this episode of
Yeah,
the show, man, just overall, I mean, look, reflecting on this, the last 18 years of John Harbaugh being a head coach, like we said, it's been quite the roller coaster. There's been some ups, there's been some downs, there's been one Super Bowl that we got out of him. So we wanna tip the cap, and what I want to do, actually want to read the
yeah,
sentiments from John Harbaugh that he posted. Let me see if I have it here. I'll go ahead and read through it. So this is from John Harbaugh, and I quote. He says, "Well, I was hoping for a different kind of message on my last day here. Someday, but that day has come today." Smiley face emoji. That was kind of weird to me. It comes with disappointment, certainly, but more with gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude to the owner and organization who was willing to bring in a head coach who made his mark with special team success. Ironic. A difficult thing to do. An appreciation for all the moments, all these years that are etched into eternity. I hope a legacy built on faith, always fighting, and always believing. Values built into an organization through a team that are worthwhile, good, and lasting, and that are admired by fans and foes alike. Meaningful and impactful relationships with players through the years that I will cherish always, grateful for their strength and courage. Loyal partnerships in this wonderful building that grew into strong friendships through the toil and tempest of the job every day. Then he says, mostly to my treasured family, my Ingrid and my Allison, who are beyond compare in every way and the loves of my life, that's his family, and my close knit family and good friends who stick with you no matter what. Finally, to the author and finisher of our faith, gratitude for a journey beyond anything I could have dreamed of on my own. All is well with my soul because of the good God who guides and sustains me. John Harbaugh. Alex, your thoughts after hearing that?
Smiley face. Very well written.
Smiley
Uh,
face emoji. Yeah.
in all, I said on Twitter, like I appreciate he gave me some good memories. It sucks it had to end this way. I think it could have ended better, but like I said, I think got complacent. I think he thought it was his way or the highway, and unfortunately, it's Mr. Bashadi's way or the highway. He is the owner. You are the head coach, so
Yeah.
it'll he'll be fine moving on. I'm not worried about that, and yeah,
Appreciate the sub, Jerome.
good luck. Good luck, John. Thank you for the 18, and I'm sure I'll see you back in Baltimore soon.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 7 calls already. I'm sure there's probably been more since we started this podcast. He's going to land somewhere pretty quickly if he does want to hop right back into football. He doesn't have
Yeah,
to, again, because he's still going to be getting paid. But if he wants to hop right back into football, somebody will allow him to do so. Now, let me read from Steve Bashadi the statement he put out. Following a comprehensive evaluation of the season and the overall direction of our organization, I decided to make a change at head coach. Today, I informed John that he has been relieved of his duties. This was an incredibly difficult decision, given the tremendous 18 years we have spent together and the profound respect I have for John as a coach, and most importantly, as a great man of integrity. Throughout what I firmly believe is a Hall of Fame coaching career, John has delivered a Super Bowl championship to Baltimore and served as a steadfast pillar of humility and leadership. He and his family have deeply embedded themselves in the community. For these profound contributions on and off the field, we should all be forever grateful. Our goal has always been and will always be to win championships. We strive to consistently perform at the highest level on the field and be a team and organization our fans take pride in. I will always be grateful for the extraordinary hard work and dedication displayed by John and his staff throughout many successful years. I wish he, Ingrid, and Allison all the best going forward. We now begin the challenging but exciting process of identifying the next leader of our football team. We fully understand the expectations of our fans and everyone in the Ravens organization. Finding another strong leader and partner who will reflect these high standards is paramount. We deeply appreciate our fans and will continue to work relentlessly to bring them, our city, and the extended community the success they deserve. That was from Steve Bashadi. When you hear that, man, Alex, what are you thinking? Because I'm thinking like,
there's
bravo, Steve, you chose us.
there's some things in there that really stuck out to me. A goal is a championship, not the journey being the goal, a championship.
Yeah,
And then just like you said, the exciting opportunity now, like who can lead this team next? And I think when you go around and look at these other teams that have won the Super Bowl or have gotten far and seen turnarounds, obviously the Seattle being the guys this year, um, the Rams obviously with what they have. You see Sirianni come in, took a couple of years, 2 Super Bowls, won one. I, how can you not be excited? You know what you have. You know you have pillars of this team right now that you can build around, and you can have new philosophy, something that you haven't had in 18 years. NFL's changed.
yeah,
And I'll tell you what, I say the Ravens always zig when they zag. They zig today because it came out that with us firing John Harbaugh, other teams with veteran coaches that are on the ice are going to lean more now towards making a change. So good on us for doing the right zigging this time.
yeah. Finally was able to rip the band-aid off. Listen, guys, if you're still watching live, shout out to you. Make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel as well before you get out of here. If you're part of the hashtag replay gang, you know what I need you to do. I need you to go down to the comments, put hashtag replay gang and how you're feeling about this whole John Harbaugh firing that we witnessed today. This is the absolute hugest news of the season, like of the
Yeah.
season we just witnessed. And for the off season, right? This is the biggest news in a long time. So of course we will be here covering that news each and every day, whether that be with lives, whether that be with YouTube shorts. Again, make sure you stay locked in because we will be locked in on this situation on the prowl again for this Ravens head coaching election, which is what I'm going to call it throughout because that's exactly what it's going to be. Get your candidates in order because I know we are. And on Thursday, we're coming back and we're firing heavy on that. So if that sounds good to you, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. But this has been episode 367 of the Purple Rain podcast YouTube channel. Again, thank everybody for all the support, all the donations on this episode, all the likes, all the subs, the membership joins, things like that. It does not go unnoticed. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. We love you guys. We appreciate y'all. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
As always, stay positive because things like this can happen. And always test negative. Have a great night.
Yes, yes, yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. This has been episode 367 of PRP. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.